on One Day Leader, are candidates prepared to tackle the issues of alcoholism among South Africans? Can they come up with a solution? Ralocha, Dumelang, and welcome to One Day Leader. My name is Tumelo Mototwani, and thank you so much for joining us for another exciting episode of One Day Leader. Now, according to World Health Organization, South Africans consume 9.46 litres of pure alcohol per adult every single year. The 2014 South African Medical Journal article recorded alcohol as the most abused drug in the country. The Human Sciences Research Council says the Western Cape and the Northern Cape provinces, well, they have the highest levels of binge and harmful drinking in the country. Alcohol abuse is also associated with unemployment, risky sexual behavior, and also violent crimes. Now, this being Women's Month, we are actually decided to investigate the prevalence of alcohol abuse amongst young women. Please share your views with us on our topic on our Facebook page. It's One Day Leader SA, and on Twitter, it's at One Day Leader. Don't forget to hashtag One Day Leader. Now, this week we have our top 5 candidates. If you remember, just last week we said goodbye to Siphosenkosi, Malimela, and now we remain with the top 5. If you don't remember them, well, I'm going to remind you, and they open up this episode with their vision statements. Leader 1 is Tshwanelo Fokazi. And your vision statement begins now.
I pray my peers, the girls who bank school so that they may be rubbed like trophies on a pedestal in top center hotels, knew that it is not the cost of rosé or cristal that is expensive. It is the cost of dignity, their worth, and their future that is truly at expense.
Thank you so much, Tshwanelo. And now we head over to leader number 3, Matasha Mazomba.
My vision is of a South Africa that recognizes and embraces the continually changing role of women within our country. A South Africa where our mothers, our wives, and our sisters are at the forefront of driving both economical and social change. My vision is of a women-led South Africa.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Now we head over to leader number 4, Jabulani Sibiya.
Sawubona, South Africa. My vision is to instill a sense of hope to the future and character analysis of South Africa through action, to motivate a more permeable society, and to drive a solution-based economy rather than a problem-notifying society. And through leadership, I salute you.
Thank you, Jabulani. Well, we're heading over to another lady now. Samantha Beynon is leader number 5.
Molweni Mzansi, my vision for this nation entails the empowerment of young people, women, people with disabilities, and any other currently marginalized group to realize and maximize their potential in the assistance for radical economic transformation, in particular for the majority of South Africans, but so to speak, the working class and poor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samantha. Well, last but definitely not least, we have leader 6, Octavia Shabangu.
During the former regime, government weaponized education and crippled the black majority of this land. The government knew that segregated education would be the weapon to stop revolution. Education is the justice of our people and the freedom of tomorrow. I know that education is power. The apartheid government knew education is power. The question is, do you know that education is power?
Food for thought right there. Thank you so much, Octavia, for that. Well, thank you to all our 5 leaders for their vision statements. And tonight we are not live, but you still have time, of course, to keep voting for your favorite winner, or rather your favorite leader, who, of course, you anticipate to be the overall winner. And you can do so by SMSing ODL and, of course, their number or their leader numbers to 34020. Now we take a look, of course, at our scoreboard. Please vote for your favorite candidate on our SMS line, which is 34020. And here's how you can vote. To vote for your favorite leader, SMS Leader 1, Tshwanelo Fokazi. Leader 3, Matasha Mazomba. Leader 4, Jabulani Sibiya. Leader 5, Samantha Beynon. And Leader 6, Octavia Shabangu. That's exactly how you can vote. And the judges, well, interestingly enough, they avoided using their power to save a candidate from the elimination during our last elimination round. And I just can't wait to see how they will use their power to save in the upcoming episodes. And just please remember that it's also in your hands, not just to the resident and the guest judges. You can also be a judge by voting for your favorite leader. But without any further ado, let's meet our resident judges. A writer, a public speaker and social activist, Shaka Sisulu is a founding member of Cheese Kids, a board member of Love Life, and serves on the interim leadership task team of the ANC Youth League. Catherine Constantinides is the Youth Network Generation Earth co-founder, executive director of Miss Earth SA and lead SA executive. Well, our guest judge for this week is Linda Ben, the 2014 National President of Junior Chamber International South Africa. And she has a BTech in Business Administration, a National Diploma in Management, as well as being a graduate from the Goldman Sachs Gibbs 10,000 Women's Program. And she's an entrepreneur, project manager, and has worked extensively in banking, cellular, as well as furniture industries. Well, she's very passionate, if I have to say, about social development and enjoys seeing young people flourish and take ownership of what happens in their communities. Linda Ben, welcome to One Day Leader. Thank you so much for joining us. Could you just kindly describe to us, for those who don't know, what the JCI does and what it stands for?
Okay. Thank you, Tumelo. So Junior Chamber International is a worldwide community of young active citizens between the ages of 18 to 40 who share the belief that in order to create lasting positive change, we need to empower ourselves and the communities around us. So what JCI members do is they are actively involved in their communities. They go out, identify challenges, and come up with sustainable solutions to those challenges by collaborating with government, business, and civil society.
Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us, Linda. And welcome back to our resident judges. Catherine, are you excited for this episode?
Absolutely. We celebrate women and we look at real issues that face women in our country. So I'm really looking forward to this issue.
Thank you so much. You're not feeling left out, Shaka. Not feeling left out as a man.
I'm feeling completely privileged.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, judges. Thank you. And also, this week, our candidates visited the Vaal University of Technology to research the challenges that young women in particular have with alcohol. Let's have a look at what this translated into.
Morning, leaders. Hey. What's up, guys? We have some toss milk. Yeah. What up? Let's see what we got. Good morning, leaders. Your task today looks at the causes and dangers of alcohol abuse amongst young women. You will go to the Vaal University of Technology to investigate the above. You're expected to execute Bottles Down campaign that promotes alcohol-free fun, and your task leader is Octavia. Good luck.
Namhlanje bangikhethile ukuthi ngizobamba isikhundla. Into engicabangayo ukuthi i-challenge izoba mnandi. Ngizozama ngabo wonke amandla wami ukuthi just to finish the task, ngiyenze lento efunekayo, hayi ukuthi ngishayile.
I think for me it's going to be interesting to be led by Octavia based on the happenings of a week ago. So I'm a little bit nervous about that.
It's important ukuthi nibe ne-understanding noyi-two ukuthi size la so yenza umsebenzi, hayi ukuthi sizobona ukuthi ubani ubani.
As the candidates were preparing, they went all the way to the Vaal University of Technology.
Kodwa ufike eVaal manje University into ezoyenza kuqala so hamba sokhuluma ne-SRC. Masiqeda lapho soqala ama-interview nabantu sizozwa ukuthi utshwala ubayenza nabafazi abesimame besifazane, and then sibone ukuthi siyaphambili nge-solution ye-campaign.
In terms of the problem, the drinking or the females abusing alcohol, where does it come from? Where does it stem from your understanding as the SRC?
I think it comes from the background, where you grew up, how you grew up, the environment. According to our reports that we've got from counseling department, young women drink because of social issues, emotional issues, social acceptance.
Like expect quite a lot of things that I didn't know, but I suppose the facts remain the same. These things are factors background, peer pressure and so forth. So she mentioned the same old things really that I've always known as a young leader.
I can disclose what alcohol has done
All
for me.
right, yeah,
You understand?
I agree.
I mean, if you have 100 ladies,
It's too much.
it's too much. I won't feel comfortable to share my story. Let's just stick it maybe 40, 50.
Okay, that's
The
perfect.
more intimate, the better.
Manje sizo interview aba amantombazane la Vaal University. Sizobuza ama questions to you know, regarding alcohol and the consumption, as well as just the overall view la for alcohol.
Straight up, out the bat, we want to ask you, do you drink?
Yes.
Yes.
Why do you drink? So, is it, we know it's occasionally.
I'm trying to have fun with my friends. Probably it's a after test or after exam. You know, you're tired, you're stressed, so you just need to drink and relax.
But I want to know outside of campus. So it doesn't necessarily have to be here at VUT.
Yeah.
So maybe it was at one of the parties and there was an incident where a female related, that something happened to a specific female.
I think peer pressure plays a big role. Yeah, because once I was at a party, there was a certain girl who didn't drink, but because of the people around who were drinking, she forced herself to drink. And after that, you could see that it was the first time. It was the first time drinking, and she's not used to it. So she started acting out of control, you know, taking off her clothes and all those things.
There was a confirmation of discussions we had prior to interviewing them, but at the same time, we're not completely sure it was genuine answers as opposed to promoting the brand of the university. So I think the autonomy of institutions of higher learning must always be brought into question, in my view. And I'm speaking as a student.
Have you ever heard of an incident where a female maybe drank too much and something happened?
I know of a lot of incidences where such things happen because a lot of, around VUT, around the Vaal, there are a lot of killings that have happened because of that. A lot of rape is because girls go out at night and they do not know who they have left with or what happened the day before. There are a lot of incidents that happen.
The first take I wasn't too comfortable with because the VUT marketing personnel was always there, and it seemed like she was putting pressure on the kids, and it seemed like they weren't giving authentic information.
We did call our task leader. We pulled him aside and said, we are concerned about the fact that we have someone almost pushing particular answers from the students.
Well, in my understanding, students come from different backgrounds and they all come to university aiming to learn and acquire their qualifications. But as soon as they arrive at university, especially with first years, they get exposed to alcohol, things that they were not exposed to when they were at home. With some of the students that I know, they'll tell you that through alcohol and through certain drugs, I get to help myself to have a better understanding when it comes to studying for exams and tests and so forth.
Our fact-finding mission was successful, despite the fact that we were being monitored and the individuals we spoke to were cherry-picked, because it actually validated the information that we have. Our information corresponded with the one the SRC had and what the learners had to say. And now we'll be able to execute knowing full well what we're getting into.
Well, having fun without alcohol, that's a very interesting concept. But will our candidates pull it off? That's the big question. And we find out straight after this. You're watching One Day Leader. My name is Tshwanelo Fokazi. Thanks again for joining us. Well, before the ad break, the candidates were tasked to organize an event where they will invite students at the Vaal University of Technology to have fun without any alcohol. Let's see how that went.
I wasn't as hard as I should have been with the marketing lady. She came in, she wouldn't leave. That kind of diminished the authenticity of the students. So I'm going to have to sit down with her today. And I'm just going to have to try and find a way to not have her come in, or if she does come in, have her in a place where she can't influence their answers. So that's something I have to look into today.
Do the candidates have a marketing plan?
We didn't consider doing the posters or flyers. We want to get 50 pledges if the girls have the courage enough to pledge on the sheet that we have. And we want to get the picture of the poster and actually share it on social media.
Then it was time for Octavia to confront some of the issues they had.
Okay guys, so what it is she said that she's going to be in a meeting until 1, that's about an hour and 15 minutes from now.
What is the way forward in terms of, okay, are there 50 goals planned or aren't there? Do we need to pull students to the event or are there the 50 goals?
She said that they might not have them. And she's like, what are we going to do about it? And I said, why can't we pull random students from this square over here that are going to be here at 2 o'clock? And she said, no. So we can get people that are standing here and they can come through. We can talk to them, we tell them our agenda, and we can get them.
The role of the SRC right now, moving forward.
Okay, the problem is we've been seen as the hostiles. Right now, the SRC doesn't have a role. What we're going to need to do is we can either still bring them on board, if we can still salvage that relationship.
Can I please offer,
Okay.
can I just offer to try to speak to her and try to salvage that relationship?
It's not my logistical issues because manje basitshela ukuthi no, sivunyelwe ukungena ngo-1 kuphela. That's the only authorization. So manje they've decided to keep us in these confines. They said we can't go out, and manje that's quite an issue.
I just met with Mandisa from the SRC. They're saying that the venue is booked from 1 until 4, but can we please try end a little bit earlier so people can get back to campus?
Okay.
So yeah, that's it basically.
Great.
And she's willing to help us. So if 1 or 2 of us could assist, or 3, and then someone else the venue.
The 3 of you can pull in people.
Okay.
I'll go to the venue and I'll set up snacks and I'll do everything else.
You won't need 1 person to assist you.
Okay. Can the 2 of you handle
students? Yeah.
Okay, you can come with me. We can do the food.
Okay.
Team,
Let's go.
Team.
Boom.
Boom. Thank you.
Let's go.
Okay, jump up. I'm sorry. Hi.
There's a group of ladies.
Yes.
We're
coming to you. We want you.
The candidates started inviting some students to partake in the event, but they had one more obstacle to overcome.
You can say something within BUT and have a conversation for yourself, and you can agree to disagree and debate, but when you say something, be positive. You are the representative from this movement to the next 2 hours of the event. When it comes to BUT, we do not promote alcohol abuse. We do not promote segregation. In other words, if somebody has a problem, we're not asking you to join them. Actually, we all look at you as adults now being in the tertiary world.
I'm feeling a bit frustrated because I feel like the marketing lady is trying to frustrate what we're trying to achieve. It's a bit tense in the room, right? And I like an icebreaker. So I want everybody to stand up. We're going to do something called a Chugu China. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Knees together. Knees together. Toes together. Toes together. Palm out. Palm out. Nod your head. Nod your head. Tongue out. Tongue out. Okay.
We all have different stories. So as a student, remember it's your personal choice. As a woman, the confidence must come from yourself when you are sober. So in other words, without having even touched alcohol, you know you have a purpose in life. You know that alcohol doesn't need to be that source of confidence.
In my 17 years in this role, not in this institution alone, I've seen female students going out for a drink with a friend and never came back. When they came back, they were corpses. If you can go to bed with a person you don't know, or the following morning you don't know what happened to you, what you see is just evidence, and you don't know who's accountable, then it means you shall have been reckless with your life. Yeah. Thank you very much.
izinto bezingahambi ngendlela besifanele zihambe ngayo. Lento yokuqala ngiyifundile namhlanje ukuthi you are going to be faced with obstacles, and it doesn't matter when you're faced with obstacles, whether eqaleni or ekugcineni. You have to find a way to overcome it.
The objective today was to get 50 kisses onto the cloth. Unfortunately, we didn't get 50 kisses. We got just under 50. So a little bit disappointing in that aspect, but we managed to carry out the task, and the task was complete in the end.
Wow, a fun session without alcohol. Mzansi, our leaders give you permission to try this at home as well. But after the break, we have a look at the final product. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to One Day Leader, and please continue sending through your comments on our topic for this episode, which is alcohol abuse amongst young women, to our SMS line, which is 34020. But remember to begin your SMS with your the number or the letter ODL, then SMS to 34020. Now, our candidates are still at the Vaal University of Technology, where they have organized a fun day without alcohol. Some hard work went into this, and now let's reveal some of the feedback that they received after that day.
This event was a success because now, since we're in varsity, we see that alcohol is a really big issue, especially among students. So what we've learned here is what we're going to use to abangan bet or our family members, and then tell them all those things that we learned there, so that they can maybe decrease the way that they the number of bottles that they drink, in a way of becoming better people and all that. I think not a lot of marketing was done because abantu abaningi bebangazi. Mina, I just knew last night, and if maybe there were posters around maybe campus or anyway, abantu abaningi were actually going to come and hear what's it about and what they can learn from it and use off.
People learned from such things, and they can help whoever was not here to actually learn of such things that happen, because it is situations that happen on a daily basis.
I think note today it was productive and but then if there was more people who share this information not today, like the percentage about alcohol in campus today.
Mina ngicabanga ukuthi kube into right ukuthi beyenze, because most of us asibuye ema-background emakhaya afanayo, so if thina abanye asibuye emakhaya mhlambe exposed to alcohol and drugs, masifika la esikoleni we get to learn izinto eziningi esingazazi from back home, and we get to take the information ekhaya sibazise ukuthi thina sikufundene sikuthola esikoleni. So I think ukuthi lento le mele yenziwe like over and over again, kube into yenzeka mhlambe once a month or twice a month, ukuthi sonke sazi ukuthi information lesitholile siyithole kanjani and isisiza kanjani. Sintswela ngidlala netball, nami ngizothatha le information engitholile namhlanje ngitshela abanye babadlali ukuthi into engifundile namhlanje bekuyini.
Well, Mzansi, this is how our leaders had fun without consuming any alcohol. And I'm quite sure you've had some suggestions on how you can do this as well. Well, our team always looks forward to reading them, as do the candidates. And now we hand over to the judges for their questions. I'm sure they are just pleading to have their moment to ask the candidates about the activities, of course, within their toss. Linda, I'm going to start with you. Do you have a particular question for any one of our candidates?
Yes, Dumi. Actually, I have one for Natasha. I didn't see you anywhere in this task. Where were you?
Unfortunately, Sis Linda, I study in the Eastern Cape at the University of Fort Hare. So I had an exam that I had to write, and so I had to travel all the way to write my exam and be back. So I couldn't partake in this week's task.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Natasha. We'll hand it over to you, Shaka. Do you have a question?
Yeah. To team leader, I think I'm curious. Your initial assignment was a party or a fun day, and it seemed to have ended up being about pledges, and not that you actually even got the amount of pledges you had planned to get. What happened? What changed?
Okay, so I'll start with the initial start, because what they said, they said we could make a campaign. It didn't specifically have to be a party. They did say a party is a good idea, But the problem with the party is you cannot control the amount of people coming in and out in terms of the team that we do have available to us. So it was a resources issue, first of all. And secondly, how would we contain alcohol not coming into the party? Parties are synonymous on university campuses for having alcohol. And the campaign, I don't think, because there was less than 50 kisses on the cloth was a failure, because it's going to be all over social media and it's going to be presented every Friday at that varsity and pushed by the SRC.
All right, thank you so much, Octavia. Thank you so much, Octavia. Catherine, you have a question?
Yeah, my question is for Samantha. Your organizational skills really came in handy, and I want to know, did those things that you decided to do and the things that you picked up on, did those come as a result of you questioning Octavia's organizational skills?
No, I think, thank you for the question, by the way. I think that it's important to take, number one, ownership as a collective. I don't think any particular shift of blame or anything can be attained specifically to the leader. So it was about taking ownership as a collective, and it was also about simply giving support to the leader of the task. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, judges. Thank you so much, candidates, for answering those questions. And now we move on to our debate topic for this week, which is, why is it more acceptable for men to drink than women? But before we get into that, let's find out what the debate rules are. Every leader has a set of instructions and disciplines to live by. These are the rules for the one-day leader debates. You have 30 seconds to state your vision statement, 60 seconds for the opponent to challenge, and 30 seconds to conclude your debate. And with that said, our very first debate is between Tshwanelo and Jabu. Tshwanelo, you begin this segment of the debate, beginning now.
Thank you. As a feminist, I'll be the first to admit that when it comes to alcohol, men and women are unequal, and it's absolutely essential for the health and safety of women to understand this inequality. Basic biology proves that excessive alcohol in a woman's system can increase chances of breast cancer, premature menopause, infertility, and miscarriages. Women who are heavy drinkers are judged harshly because the intoxication of their body can affect the well-being of the body of the baby they may carry someday. Plus, a drunk woman is more in danger than a drunk man when in the streets.
Thank you so much, Tshwanelo. Jabulani, you have 60 seconds to challenge, beginning now.
Thank you very much for that, Tshwanelo. You said that we are unequal in terms of our gender practices going through and actually consuming alcohol. I want you to tell me how can we empower both equally, because I think it's a problem amongst both genders. So how can we cover that equally to say, listen, these two genders are suffering from alcohol consumption and increasing consumption over the past years, and how do we tackle it, dignity from it being the problem of tackling the solution at hand.
All right, Jabu.
Thank you so much, Jabulani. Well, Tshwanelo, you may begin now.
Thank you so much, Jabu, for the question. I don't think it's a matter of empowerment. Well, first of all, as someone who does not believe in excessive alcohol abuse, I don't think we should empower anyone to drink, whether male or female. I believe that we should get women to understand that it's dangerous, and men, it's also dangerous. But the question right now is about young women, which is why I addressed young women. I'm not saying that it's not dangerous for young men.
Yes, and how do we empower, how do we get these women to notify that it is dangerous? Because you said you want to get it across to women, so you need to tell us exactly, how do we educate them? What is the content in saying, listen, you are a woman.
We can use the media, we can use formal education, academics, and so forth.
Thank you so much, Tshwanelo. Now we need your closing statement. You may begin now.
Okay, the bottom line is that regularly drinking alcohol can harm your health, even if you don't binge or get drunk. All types of alcohol can really ruin you as a woman. If you want to do everything you can to lower your breast cancer risk and other illnesses, limiting your alcohol will really help you, or rather stopping completely.
All right, thank you so much, Tshwanelo. That was our very first debate, but we now hand over to you, Jabulani, to give us your vision statement in 30 seconds, beginning now.
You said you want to tackle this to women, and I'll tell you how. It is not acceptable for men to drink more than women, and it is fact from the Center of Student Health, Problem and Wealth. It says that women absorb and metabolize alcohol differently. Women have less water body rate in their system, and if they're actually the same weight as somebody else, they will consume more alcohol in their blood system more than actual males. So this is what we need to tell them. The reason why men are increasingly drinking more is because of they can consume more because of what alcohol consumption in their blood system, and regularly to that woman and to a servant
leader. Thank you so much, Jabulani. Well, Tshwanelo, you can challenge that statement in 60 seconds.
Okay, thank you so much, Jabulani. You spoke about educating young women. Yes. So I'd like to know, how would you do it, educating young women
Perfect. There was a classical example, like I said, from the Centaur Student and Health Promotion, and it says, for example, if we had a male, for example, this male was 140 lbs, and he drinks 2 drinks in 1 hour, his blood alcohol level will be 0.038. Whereas if we have a female, let me finish, where if we have a female who's 140 lbs, and it says that this female drinks 2 drinks, the same amount of the male, let me finish, it drinks the same amount of the male, and her blood level will be 0.048. So here's the classical example. A woman is drinking the same as a man, but she has more alcohol consumption. So we need to educate and say, listen, the reason why these women are drinking more, or the reason why these men are drinking more, is because they can consume more in terms of their blood system. And we need to say, this is a stereotype that we need to finish and we need to eradicate.
How do we
and we need to
finish
give
the
them the fact of
stereotype, how do we
actually,
attack that?
this
How
is
do
the
we
reason
tackle
why they've increased their alcohol consumption.
Alrighty then, very heated. Jabulani, now you can wrap up that vision statement in 30 seconds.
Perfect. And what I'm saying is, by society saying, why is it more acceptable for men to drink more than women, we're encouraging a stereotype. I want to take that stereotype away and give facts. The reason why men are drinking more than women is because of their alcohol consumption rate. I gave you a classical example of 2 people with the exact same weight and gender, and the reason why the person who was drinking more, which was the male, is because he can consume more blood alcohol levels into his system.
Thank you so much, Jabulani. Round of applause for our debate too. Okay, judges, I'm going to give you a few seconds, of course, to deliberate. And while they do that, you can also be judge. Go to our Facebook page. It's One Day Leader SA and comment. Who do you think took that very first debate? You can SMS us on 34020. Alternatively, go to our Twitter account, which is @OneDayLeader. #OneDayLeader. All right, judges. Linda, unfortunately, because of time, we need to shorten this deliberation. Who do you think took the first debate?
I think Jabulani. He came up with the stats, and I mean, I like the fact that he actually demystifies the fact that it is okay for men to actually consume more than women, but actually it is not okay. But he came up with statistics that it's because of their consumption as the bodies of men.
Interesting. A round of applause for Jabulani.
Yes.
Congratulations, Jabulani. And, well, after the break, we continue with our topic for this week. It's getting heated. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to One Day Leader. My name is Tshwanelo Fokazi, and thank you so much for joining us today. Well, our topic for today is, why is it more acceptable for men to drink than women? Our next debate is between Natasha and Samantha. And Natasha, you open up the segment of the debate. The 30 seconds begin now.
Okay, so important to note is that people do not have to be the same in order to be equal. This means that a woman does not have to be the same as a man in order for her to be equal to him. What I'm saying is this: it is not acceptable for women to drink as much as men are because of 3 things. First is the role of women within society, which is different from that of men within society. Second is the dangers that are associated with women drinking and over drinking at that. And third is also the cultural issues that are associated with women drinking. So let's look at the role of women within society.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Unfortunately, your time is up. Well, Samantha, your 60 seconds to challenge begin now.
Thank you so much, Natasha. What I wanted to ask you is, what do you think about the fact and reality that society as males and females actually creates the very perceptions that you're speaking about? For example, it's not acceptable, the stigma that it's not acceptable for women to drink as much. Here we're not talking about alcohol abuse or the ability to consume factually, but we're talking about the stigma attached to women instead of the socioeconomic challenges that they face that leads to them drinking. So, and that is us as society, including yourself as a sister of mine, creating and proliferating that perception on. So how do we address that?
Okay, so Sam, what we have to remember is that stigmas are not necessarily there unwarranted. So what I'm saying is that the stigma that is associated with women drinking more than men is a warranted stigma because when women drink more than men, they are more prone to danger than men are when they drink. So what I'm saying is that as a woman who drinks as much as a man, you are in a lot.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Well, you have time now to wrap up that vision statement and conclude in 30 seconds. You missed out, Natasha.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
actually closing up in 30
Sorry.
seconds.
So as I said, people do not have to be the same in order for them to be equal. By us saying that it is unacceptable for women to drink as much as men are, we are not in any way saying that they are not equal to men. We are just saying that there are more dangers associated with women drinking as much as men do. And like Jabu said, the BMI of women does not allow for them to drink as much as men. This is physical biology. It's a fact.
Thank you so much, Natasha. All right. Samantha, well, you have an opportunity right now to give us your vision statement in 30 seconds, beginning now.
Thank you so much, Susam. Again, I want to remind colleagues that we are not here to necessarily discuss the ability to consume alcohol or even alcohol abuse, but rather the disparities in terms of acceptance. The key word in this argument is the acceptability of a woman to drink compared with a man. And that means we require a paradigm shift, a shift in mentality, because it is us as society that has created the mentality that women cannot or should not. Remember, it's about acceptance, not about the
Thank you so much,
ability to
Samantha.
drink.
Natasha, this is your opportunity now to challenge in 60 seconds, beginning now.
Like I've been saying, Sam, there are certain stigmas that are not warranted. But with this specific stigma, it is warranted to say that women should not drink as much as men do.
Natasha, you aren't listening to me when I say about a paradigm
first
shift
of all,
means gender constructs, and gender constructs basically lead to perceptions.
warranted gender constructs,
Warranted according to who?
Samantha.
Because it is subjective according to your
as a
own
person
view.
to be safe.
Yes, as a person,
woman,
an individual. So as a woman and as an individual, it is subjective according to your own personal convictions, culturally, religiously,
It won't be very
and even
subjective
morally
when you
in
get
terms
raped
of
as a result of
society.
you being
We are
drunk.
not talking
It won't be very subjective
so,
then.
So men
That I
aren't
can
able
tell
to be
you.
raped if they've overconsumed alcohol in society. Is that what you are saying?
I'm saying that the
it's not. It's
occurrences
only
will be
subjective
more
to
likely
women.
if
It's
you
only
are drunk.
subjective to women.
Alrighty. Seems like we're going to end it right there. It is Women's Month, so allow the ladies to argue their statements. Okay, Samantha, but you still have 30 seconds now to just wrap up that vision statement, beginning now.
Thank you so much, Siswam. We are not denying in terms of dangers of women consuming alcohol. What we are saying is, what about the stigma attached to the acceptability of women drinking? Because basically as society, we have constructed, we need to understand that the successful practice of healthy drinking habits will only be achieved when we acknowledge the deep, embedded, rooted stigmas attached against women and why they drink and consume alcohol in the first place. And normally that would be socioeconomic challenges faced by both women and men.
Thank you so much, Samantha. Thank you so much. A round of applause for our debate. All right, then, we're going to give us judges a few seconds to deliberate, and when we come back, of course, we'll have our winner for debate 2. And I just want to remind you, it is Women's Month. Allow the ladies. And if we had more time, you know, to invest in very intellectual arguments among sisters, then that would be very, very helpful. But you know what? I'll hand this over to another lady to be the bearer of good news. Catherine, choose one, please.
This was a very difficult one for us. And after extensive deliberation right through that, we would like to give it a tie.
Give it a tie?
Yes.
We have, for the very first time, we have a tie on debate 2. Wow. Interesting. Congratulations to both of you, Natasha and, of course, Samantha. It is a tie. Well, but this week, actually, when we're heading over to the gentlemen, Octavia gets to choose his opponent and will then give us his vision statement. Octavia, you have an opportunity now to choose between the 4 leaders. Who would you like to argue with?
Matasha Mazomba.
Natasha Mazomba, all right. Because you've chosen Natasha, Octavia, you'll begin with you, and your 30 seconds begin now.
I do not believe that it's more acceptable for men to drink alcohol in comparison to women. Both are unacceptable. However, society tolerates it more in men. The inequality and intolerance stems from a social ill that has always existed in society. And one of the leading factors that make alcohol consumption less intolerable in men is that women are historically nurturing of the two genders. They have pursued careers that reaffirm the idea of nobility, such as teaching, nursing, and social work. These are the foundations that validate that women are pure in intent.
Your time's up now. Thank you so much, Octavia. Natasha, you've got 60 seconds to challenge, beginning now.
Now, Octavia, you make a very valid point about the social ills that are associated with women not being acceptable, while drinking for women not being acceptable and drinking for men being acceptable but within society. But my argument would be, do you think that the dangers that are associated with a drunk woman, as in rape and or kinds of other violent activities, do you think that those take a back seat and the social ill takes a front seat? So do you think that the social ill is more important and the dangers take a back seat?
Okay, so what you're talking about is rape and all the other things. Those are the social ills. We cannot differentiate the two. So what you're saying is, if a woman drinks a lot, will she get raped? The chances are higher than it being in a man. That's why I'm saying that it's not, what I said in the beginning was, that's why the tolerance level in terms of society is lower in men, because we are less likely to fall victims to things like that.
Okay, so as a man...
All right, unfortunately, time is up. Octavia, please wrap up that vision statement in 30 seconds, beginning now.
Okay, I am of a firm belief that it is not bad for society to tolerate less drinking in women. That means we as a people understand the value of women. It is rather bad for women to believe that this statement is an attack on their equality. This is the idea of less tolerance of liquor in women must be enforced with education of self-worth. They must know that they're better than alcohol and that they're alternative coping mechanism. Tshwanelo Fokazi once said to me, you educate a man, you educate a man. You educate a woman, you educate a generation. And after this task, nobody knows that.
Thank you so much, Octavia.
more than me.
Unfortunately, I have to stop you right there. Natasha, well, you may begin your vision statement now.
Okay, so I do believe that being a woman does not make you unequal to a man. I also believe that people do not have to be the same, like I said before, in order to be equal. I also believe that saying that it is not as acceptable for women to drink as it is for men is not necessarily a bad thing, because as a woman, when you drink less, you're able to take care of yourself. If we can't control the amount of levels, a man drunk comes in and rapes you, you can't control that. But you as a person, if you as a woman are sober and sober enough to take care of yourself, you have less chances of coming into danger.
All right, time is up. Thank you so much, Natasha. Octavia, you've got 60 seconds to challenge, beginning now.
Okay, thank you, Natasha, for that. So in your statement, your opinion speaks at the symptoms of the subject that was given to us and not the cause of why they're drinking. I just want to know, you kept referring to we're not equal. And how do you, what are the statistics that support that we are not equal, firstly? And then on that, how do we quantify the relevance of your opinion in speaking about the importance of self-worth in young women?
I think you misunderstood me, Octavia. I did not say we are not equal. I said we are equal, we are just different. You and me, you're a man, I'm a woman. You being a man and me being a woman doesn't not make us unequal, it makes us different. You are a male and I'm a female, first of all. Second of all, now you say that, how do I quantify the causes?
No. The statistical value of your opinion in terms of...
The statistical value of my opinion.
Okay, so what statistics actually support what you're saying?
The statistics that support what I'm saying is that more women are raped when they are drunk and cannot even identify the perpetrator.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Now's the opportunity to just close up this segment. Natasha, you can close up, of course, your vision statement.
Okay, so it is in fact acceptable for women to drink less than men, because then they are able to take care of themselves, first of all. It is also society's moral standing and values which determine the unacceptability of women to drink. It is also the dangers that are associated with women drinking that say that it is acceptable for men to drink more than women. I'm saying that by saying this, we are not saying that women are in any way unequal to men. We are saying that they are different and should therefore take ownership of their difference to men.
Thank you so much, Natasha. A round of applause. Well, there you have it. Our final debate. Judges, I'm still going to give you a few seconds, of course, to deliberate. And while they do that, I'll continue reminding you that you can also be judged where you are and select your favorite debater. Of course, you can just send through your comments on 34020, or you can go to our Facebook page, which is One Day Leader SA, or alternatively at Twitter, on our Twitter account at One Day Leader, rather than hashtag One Day Leader. Shaka, are you ready to give us the winner of this segment?
Octavia, you started out strong. I really liked where you were going. You were saying that it's not acceptable, for us to have a different view between men and women, but somewhere you crumbled, you contradicted yourself. I think you got to stand by your belief. I think for everybody, you got to prepare yourselves better. And unfortunately for you, this one goes to Natasha.
Round of applause, Natasha. Wow, I think Natasha just broke the record there. A tie, then winning the next debate. Congratulations to you. Alrighty then, well, thanks to our candidates for those interesting views and, of course, about the challenges that young people face in Mzansi on a daily basis. Very interesting. Now, what should they win this season of One Day Leader? We'll take a look at what they stand to win. For the next 13 weeks, our 6 candidates battle to become one-day leader for Season 3. One of them will shadow the NYDA chairperson on his local and continental trips, get 300,000 rands in cash and 150,000 rands for charity of their choice. And a 5-day trip to New York City to attend the annual JCI Global Partnership Summit, sponsored by the JCI South Africa. Amazing prizes. I have to say, I've been saying that I'm so jealous about, the prizes for this season. I wish I was a contestant. Why did I become a presenter and not actually the actual contestant? But you know what? I'll try next time. But after the break, well, our judges will discuss and decide who impressed them the most on this episode. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to One Day Leader. If you missed it, well, today's topic is alcohol abuse amongst young women. And today's show is not live. I need you to remind you again, it's not live. But after the debates, this is what the scoreboard looks like. Very interesting. And now, well, we asked the judges to deliberate on who impressed them the most for this episode. Catherine, do you have our impresser for the episode?
Absolutely. For us, it actually does go to a woman today. And that young woman came here to win. Today she came here, she showed us a very calm and clear perspective. Her delivery stylistically was just impeccable, and she was very concise on her messaging. And for us, Natasha takes it today.
Natasha takes it! Wow, congratulations. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
I'm very grateful, very humble, very excited. Thank you to all the judges. It was a pleasure delivering my message to everyone. Thank you.
A round of applause. Well, congratulations to you, Natasha, for winning this episode. And thank you so much to our candidates. Thank you so much to our judges. Thank you so much to our audience for making this show very lively. And a special thank you to you at home for joining us. And don't forget that you can keep voting for your favorite candidate. Well, next week, we discuss the dangers of childhood obesity. Well, Dave Wayne-Baum said, those who let things happen usually lose to those who make things happen. So with those words, I'll leave you at that. My name is Tshwanelo Fokazi. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.